linked up with Tim somehow through folks that know
Mhm.
Mark, and I because Mark, was it Raquel that introduced you and I together?
I don't remember how. No, I think she came in afterwards. I don't remember
Okay.
exactly how.
Yeah, so I mean, it's funny how you fish around through this whole community, right? Once it sort of gets its own set of steam, and you just make. I mean, I've met some incredible people that have just incredible stories of. I think the going word, Dr. Gary, was resilience. It's resounding with cancer. I think resilience is that sword and shield against cancer. Um,
Question for Josh, if that's okay.
of
Uh,
course.
uh, I had a comment and a question. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences today. So much of it resonates with me. I'm the mom of a teen with special needs, and so much of what you were speaking about resonated with me. Slightly different circumstance because I'm the one who was afflicted by the cancer, but I I still remember the conversation of trying to figure out how in the world I was going to try to tell my son that I had cancer. And it was definitely one of the most difficult conversations. I think that being a caregiver, especially for, I can't even imagine being the caregiver for a little boy with cancer, as one of the most incredibly heart wrenching and challenging experiences that you've ever had. So I just admire your perseverance and your positive outlook, and I just, so much of it resonates with me, and especially how you were able to find your support for yourself, take care of yourself, and also normalize the cancer experience for his peers, and how you're so proud of him now, and rightfully so. I was just curious if the experience for you as being a caregiver, how has that changed you as a person, or has it? Just out of curiosity and much respect for everything that you've gone through.
Yeah, no, well, I really appreciate all the kind words. I definitely don't take that lightly. So I've always been a person that is enjoys. I get a level of enjoyment of helping others, taking care of others. So that part, I think that part obviously helped during that time. What it has done for obvious reasons is enhanced already my level of empathy that I have for folks that have cancer, folks that have someone that they know that has cancer, um, or a sibling, or whatever. That level of understanding's been turned up several notches. So I think that's probably the only thing that's changed, to be very honest with you. Like I said, I've always been a person that's enjoyed supporting other people, cheering for other people's success. I'm a big fan of just helping in general. Um, so yeah, it just turned it up a notch. That's all.
That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
I second the idea of you writing a book, of your experiences. I know you mentioned that some of your story is already in another book, but I think there's just so much more, especially from the caregiver perspective, that could help a lot of people
Mhm.
who might be facing the journey. And lastly, in Canada here, uh, we have Terry Fox as, a symbol of, hope for others, and his foundation is still going 45 plus years strong to help cancer patients. But what resonated with me is thinking about your son at that age going through cancer, and in one of his books, he books that were written about him, he had said that that was the reason why he started his marathon of hope in the beginning, was seeing children have to go through in the cancer ward, have to go through cancer and wanting to make a difference. So just wanted to put that in there. Thanks very much
Yeah,
for
no, yeah,
doing
no,
it.
there's so many fantastic kids that I met of all ages during the time because there would be, many times that we'd have to go in for some sort of routine follow-up and we'd be at, some cancer facility for like 8 hours on end. And I watched children of all ages come in. And I especially got connected with a lot of the teenagers that were going through it because that's a different level, right? They're worried about image. Um, and they understand at that point what fear is. So they already have the concept of what cancer can do. So I used to tell them at that time, and I still tell people today, I said, you want to piss off cancer? Live.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Like that's live and live large. I said, that'll piss it off. I said, you gotta, I said, it's easy for me to say as somebody who has not had cancer and has not personally had to go through it, but at some point you got to get pissed off and just you got to live that life of, nah, I'm here for a reason and I know it. And you just try to live as best you can. I know there's dog days. I can't imagine. I've seen it. It just when it's debilitating, and it's okay. You're gonna have those days. Those are expected. But continue living.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, and all the best to you and your son for in the future.
Yeah, no, I certainly appreciate that. It's fun now to really watch him on this journey through college. And matter of fact, I'm excited. I'm actually going up to their first football game of the season on Saturday. So just being able to do those things. I like telling the story, especially now, and just say, hey, this is the other side of the fence. You will get there, and it's beautiful. And I can't tell you how beautiful it is. Like I'm on this side saying, come on. Come to this side. You'll get to this side. This side is fun. This side's great. This side's got a lot of great, stuff that's in it. Um, let me extend my arm and pull you through that mud. So I enjoy doing this stuff, and Mark's been in contact with me on a few occasions. So I appreciate the opportunity to be on a platform that allows me to share this with you guys, and you guys be so accepting of it. And I definitely appreciate all the kind words, but yeah, I try to offer as much of that positive hope that I can because I know it's tough. I know it's tough. So because I unfortunately I saw a couple that didn't make it when they were little, and I can't imagine Dr. Gary. I think he disappeared. Oh no, there he is. Um, I can't imagine, and I actually still have good relationships with some of those folks too that are still nurses. I still communicate with them. Um, but they've seen it all of it. So I can't imagine what you guys have to endure. So you want to talk about heroes. Those guys are heroes
Mhm.
because that they live that every day. Whereas, yeah, mine was a direct correlation with my son and directly related to me, but I that was like 4 or 5 years. These guys are every day, years on end. So that to me, they're the ones that are, in my eyes, those are the ones that are heroes. The research and development, they're heroes. So the organizations like LLS, those are heroes. That's the way I kind of look at it.
Lihia, did you have something to say?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have so many things to say. I really admire the story. I really admire your son. I really admire your family. I mean, I took care of my mom and some other people because of cancer. But I can imagine as a mom to be in this situation regarding kids. I think it should be really tough. But you know what? I always believe in kids. Sometimes, of course, we tend to protect them, to take care of them. But sometimes we take for granted their resilience, their courage. I really admire because sometimes, even when we don't know, they don't say anything, but they are so brave. They are braver than we can imagine. And in fact, I always say we have so much to learn from them, so many things to learn from them because they are authentic, they are genuine, they take life as it goes. We are the ones who complicate life, by the way.
I
But in fact,
100% agree.
yeah, but I can imagine how tough it was. I really admire your journey. I really admire him, and I mean, he's here today. I believe God has a mission for him, and for you, of course. But I mean, my whole respect because it has to be really tough. But in fact, I think kids are really, really, really brave, and I know maybe, I mean, your son was very little at that time, so he couldn't speak about that. But I know kids are really, really brave. We should um, always take that into account because sometimes we believe that they don't understand. They understand, but they are so brave. They see everything. They listen everything, and they take all those things inside of them. But I know inside of your son there's so much courage and so much love because the way you took care of him, I mean, that's beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And that's a good point too. So if I can offer another piece of advice, sit down with a teenager that has it
Yeah.
and listen to them. It's incredible how they think and their mindset and their
Mm,
approach to life. It's insane. I wish most of us as adults could take a page out of that. It's incredible. They are brave to a
yeah.
whole nother level.
So
So
I always, you know what? So I always say, like your son and other kids, they are the future leaders, the real leaders of
mhm.
our world. They are the change makers. So we need more of those in our world that they will really change our mindset about what leadership, what love is in the world.
Oh
So
yeah.
thank you so much for sharing this journey. I know it shouldn't be easy, but it's amazing, and you're amazing too.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, no, like I said, Mark, I appreciate the opportunity and I appreciate everyone here sharing, their side of, what you guys are experiencing or have experienced. I'm happy to be a part of it.
I have one last question for you myself, and then we'll go to Dr. Gary again. Josh, uh, th this whole experience that you've been through with Ethan, uh, obviously the situation has brought you to be very close.
Oh yeah.
If Ethan didn't go through cancer, do you think your relationship would be different?
No,
No?
nope. Our relationship would be the same as it is now. No, because my job as a father never changed, regardless of what regardless of whether he's got cancer or not. My job is
Amazing.
to support, to love, to guide, to be all the rightful things as a parent. So no, it wouldn't have changed. It just got exemplified. That's about it, But because matter of fact, as we're speaking, he's texting me right now because he's a little under the weather. So no, you've seen some photos, like tons of photos of him and I doing everything.
Hmm.
He is, no, I don't know. I don't know what else more to say. It's that nothing would
Uh,
have changed because of the way we would have, the way I raised him to be a gentleman,
Beautiful.
to be a good human being, to be those things that he already is. So
That's beautiful.
yeah,
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Josh.
that's a
Uh,
great question.
thank you.
mhm.
Yeah, that's a great
Dr.
question.
Gary,
It's a great question, Mark. I think the Lord has blessed you and your life and Ethan's mom and Ethan with you guys, and the fact that you've taken your message and been able to impact, potentially millions around the world because of the storybook and because of your work. And yes, nurses are guardian angels, and yes, we've seen it every day. And you have to put the same compassion and love and um, hope into the patients and people. And the nurses, the most of the nurses and the doctors that are in that and pediatric oncology, they are incredible, and you had a chance to experience that. And there's nothing more than the love and support of a parent like you and his mom have given that just makes a difference, makes cancer not scary. Like Amanda Ferraro, who had lymphoma and stem cell transplants, a huge story. Her website is Cancer is an Asshole.
Oh
And
yeah, I've heard it's awesome. Yeah, I've been
right.
there. Yeah,
So,
I loved it. I love the title.
I know, and just the simplicity of s- sitting down with a cancer pediatric patient, nobody, and especially the parents like you, they they have this untainted, they haven't been around as long as you and I have, and they have this amazing fearless spirit that just pulls them through the worst. Of course, it's God's will, and God wants to keep you guys around to spread this message and story of hope and love and survivorship and being a warrior and a champion and resilience. My work with kids in my practice was the same. You know, they were coming in with these little, pains and aches. And I would always say to the parents that were coming in that had kids, have I checked your kids lately? And they said, why would you want to check the kids? They're coming in with some neck or back pain issue. I was a chiropractor. And so after we took care of the parents, I would always say, have I checked your kids? Like, why would you want to do that? I don't know. Maybe we can prevent some of the problems that you had, something you
Mhm.
came in with. So,
Mhm.
I never charged kids. It was always free in my practice. But the kids, showed their parents what staying healthy and being preventive was all about. And from my work with, the Achilles tendon, that's every time we plant our foot, the Achilles tendon and the calf muscles, allow us to walk. So my experience, and I wanted to ask you this question about having to cut the Achilles tendon when there's a surgery done on a ligament, the fact that there's surgery and there's scar tissue that replaces the healthy tissue during the recovery of a tendon repair or a meniscus surgery is inelastic and it can inflame at any time. So my question is, having to repair the mechanics of the Achilles with Ethan, and then him going into sport or even being able to walk normally after that. How did that rehab go? Because tendon repairs become even more stiff and inelastic if you don't rehab the crap out of them.
Oh yeah. Uh, fantastic. Believe it or not, like we found somebody who did fantastic work, right? So it starts there and then set us up with a great you know, um, rehab
Orthopedic surgeon,
therapy and do all
yeah,
the right things to be able um, to heal properly, to be able to walk normally, because that was new to him. A heel to toe was a totally different world for him. Because I mean, he got teased for walking on his forefront or this forefoot so much. So no, but as far as, I mean, it's crazy to what he loved the most was that now he was able to fully utilize the strength in his legs where he wasn't able to before. So sports became easier. Um, and he got obviously better. I mean, he was still pretty good, but he got better. So he does all the normal things, walks normal, plays, I mean, plays sports the way at level that, should be played. So he's able to do all those things. One of the things you kind of brought up, like the word scar. Uh, Obviously he always has that from his port. I said, dude, that's the best scar you'll ever have. It's a battle wound, man. I said, hold on to that. Don't be afraid of it. Let the world see it. I was like, those are good scars, man. I said,
great topic of
and
conversation.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like,
Absolutely.
show it off. You should. You
Yeah.
should be damn proud of it. Um, so yeah, sorry, that word just kind of sparked that. I just remember having
Wow.
a couple of
Scars
conversations
are
with him on it. So yeah.
scars are internal and external.
Yeah, so no, he's like I said, he's doing great. Now talking even more about him. I can't wait to see him on Saturday.
You're
Yeah,
my
no,
hero.
he's my co-pilot. One of the things that one of our pastimes is he loves to this day, because we used to do it a lot, was just to get in the car and go, get in the truck and go, and just listen to music, windows down, think about nothing, just enjoy each other's company and just go wherever it takes us. We still do that. We still do that. You guys would probably laugh at me when we're both singing at the top of our lungs with the worst singing voice possible, listening to like the song "Careless Whisper," just from from Wham. You know what I mean? And we're just goofballs. But he that boy makes me smile. He makes me proud, and I love him to death. Um,
I think I can speak for
one thing
everybody. You're our
I
hero,
do want to
Josh.
add to this, since it's being recorded, and I try to do it as often as possible. His mom deserves the same credit. She did a fantastic job, and you know, I always still thought we were a good team, and but that one was like that was the test, and so she did a phenomenal job as well. So I definitely don't want to take 100% of this credit. So
That's beautiful, Josh. Speaking of your your ex-wife, do you think that I assume at this point in your relationship that you're still close?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Our son is the number one reason why. Yeah, yeah,
Do you think your relationship with her would be the same today if Ethan hadn't gone through all he had gone through?
probably not. I'm not saying it would be bad, but it certainly wouldn't be where it's at now. No, I mean because you're forced. You got no
Mhm.
choice. Whether you like each other or not, or I mean that sounds bad, but it is what it is. But um, you're forced, and you both have the same goal in mind. And we also understood that we were a team once before. It's not like we weren't. Um, so we understood the schedule. We understood we both love him with everything we got, and we'll do our damnedest to team up and beat the hell out of this. So yeah, no, and it just worked out.
That is so beautiful. Uh, We really appreciate you coming, Josh. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close out the recording and figure it out afterwards because we had a glitch. And so there's going to be two parts to this recording. But I just wanted to thank you and everyone here, as well as anyone who's watching this. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Cancer Conquering Community. We will see you next week and have a fantastic week.